Hello everyone, welcome back to this exercise tutorial playlist for chapter 3 of our financial management course BUS 223. In this video we're going to be looking at exercise or problem number 28, which is going to be the last problem that we have selected for this chapter. Now this problem is a bit interesting because you do not really have all the inputs that you need to calculate or to figure out the answers in the question. It assumes that you already know this, but since this is a tax-related question, the tax code used to answer this question is based on the United States tax code. So in case we give you a similar question in your exam, you're going to be given, probably going to be given more data to use in your answer. Let's read the problem. It says, what would be the marginal and average tax rates for a corporation with an income level of 100,000? Okay. Now, in order for us to calculate the marginal tax rate and the average tax rate, we first need to figure out how much the company is actually going to pay in taxes. And the problem here is that the income level is 100,000, and in the United States, this 100,000 is not all going to be taxed at the same rate. Okay, so you're going to break down this 100,000. If we assume, let me just do a quick diagram to hopefully help you understand. If we assume that this is the full amount of 100,000, okay, half of that, which is 50,000, is going to be taxed at 15%. Okay, and then from the 50,000 and above all the way to 75,000, so that is another 25,000, it's going to be taxed at 25%, and then the last $25,000 is going to be taxed at 34%. Okay? So what we're doing here is that we're going to apply this tax rate to the first 50,000 only, so 50,000 multiplied by 0.15. And that's going to give us $7,500. Okay? And then the other 25,000 up to 75,000 is going to be taxed at 25%. So 25,000 multiplied by 0.25, that's going to be 6,250. And then the top 25,000 is going to be taxed at 0.34. So that's going to be 8,500. Okay. If we add all of these together, so 8,500 plus 6,250 plus 7,500, that's going to be $22,250. So that's the amount of tax that the company is going to pay. But you don't want to do this in your exam. I'm doing this just to clarify why I'm going to calculate the tax amount the way I'm going to do. Okay? What you should do is simply do the exact same thing but in a formula format. So what I'm going to do here, taxes at 15%. This tax rate is only going to apply to the first 50,000. Okay? Then we're going to add at 25%, which is 0.25, multiplied by 75,000 minus the 50,000 that was already taxed at 15%. Okay? Plus the remaining 25,000, which is going to be taxed at 34%. So 0.34 multiplied by 100,000. Minus 75,000. Okay. Now run these numbers on your calculator and you should get the same answer. Okay, so I'll open a bracket on my calculator, 0.15 multiplied by 50,000, close the bracket, plus 0.25 multiplied by another bracket, 75,000 minus 50,000, close the bracket, and then plus 0.34 multiplied by, open the last bracket, 100,000 minus 75,000. And I got the same exact answer, which is $22,250. So this is the actual amount of tax that the company is going to pay if they have an income of 100,000. Okay, that still doesn't answer the question. Remember, the question wants the marginal tax rate and the average tax rate. Okay, the average tax rate, we're going to calculate this as a percentage by dividing the net income of the company by the actual amount of tax that they're going to pay, which is the 22,250. Okay, so this is going to equal, sorry, it's the other way around. We're going to divide the 22,250 by the net income of the company, which was 100,000. Okay, and that's going to give us, I still have that on my calculator, so 22,250 divided by 100,000, okay, multiplied by 100 to transform it into a percentage, that is going to be 22.25%. So this is the average tax rates that the company has to pay. Okay, and for the last part, the marginal tax rate, the question wants to know what was the marginal tax rate as well. The marginal tax rate is basically the tax rate that is going to be applied for each extra dollar in income that the company makes. Okay, and since the company have already exceeded, or their income have reached all the way to the top or the maximum tax rate, which is 34%. So any extra dollar that they're going to generate in income on top of this $100,000 is going to be taxed at 34%. So that means that the marginal tax rate is simply going to equal 34%. And with this, we have satisfied all the requirements in the question. We have managed to figure out the average tax rate and the marginal tax rate. I hope that you found this video useful. If you still have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments. This is how you solve any similar question to question 28. But as I said, probably if we give you a similar question in your exams, you will be provided with all of this detail right here. We will give you the different tax brackets and the different tax rates for each bracket to make your life easier. All right. Thank you so much for watching. And until I see you in the next exercise tutorial, keep on learning.